Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to this webinar, Stories of Belonging. So for any of those who don't know, these webinars are run by Stonebelt Arc. And this is the webinar, our annual webinar, Stories of Belonging. And this is a time and a place where different folks share stories and examples of how they feel like they belong in their faith communities and tell a little bit about that to you all. I will talk to you more about our guest speakers here in a moment, but let me share with you a few more things. So Stonebelt is located, if you don't know, Stonebelt is located in Bloomington, Bedford, and Columbus, Indiana. And we support people in all those areas and in between. I am your host, Sarah McKenney. I am the spiritual support coordinator for Stonebelt. Here in a few minutes, I will type in the chat box our donation. Actually, I'm going to do it right now. I am also the computer tech, so bear with me. So I am going to type in the chat box. So we offer these webinars for free. That means because we don't want money to deter people from joining and tuning into these webinars. However, if you feel so moved to donate, we do pay all of our panelists. So all these folks here are getting paid for their time here with us. And we want to be able to do that. So if you do think about it, please follow that link and donate some money so that we can continue to do that. A few more things. Oh, and I'll also say a little bit more about Stonebelt. So Stonebelt is a nonprofit service provider, and we offer a wide range of support services for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, as well as neurodivergent folks. We are, like I told you, we are located in Bloomington, Bedford, and Columbus, Indiana. We are also a community-based organization, or we strive to be a community-based organization, and we are also secular. But this does mean that we support people of any and all faith and spiritual practices. And support them in the exploration of even figuring that out for themselves. Like I said, we are a community-based organization, so we promote full integration and inclusion and belonging of people in their community. So if you are new to this webinar series, we do a webinar series every year, usually around 5 webinars a year. This is this year's. So we are on our last webinar of the year. So this is this year's. All of these past webinars and past year's webinars are also on our website. So you can view those old webinars if you missed them, and you can get caught up. New webinars, we will be doing a whole nother calendar of webinars for 2024. I don't know what that is yet. So I will be working the next 3 months to start planning out that next calendar year. So please stay tuned and check back. And you can do so on our website. That is www.stonebelt.org /spiritual-support. And I can put that here in the chat box. I'm going to do that again right now. Okay. So there is that link as well to check all historical webinars, but also check to see what is coming up. That will also be posted. Now, I know many of us are used to Zoom, but I also know that each time there's Zoom, there's kind of maybe different rules each time we connect. So for this Zoom webinar, your microphones are muted. So please, we do invite you to use the chat icon to enter any comments throughout. Have your own discussion. If you like to kind of process while you're taking in information, feel free to add to the discussion in the chat. Or if you just want to put some of your information, who you are, where you're from, why you're here, and just enter that in for just networking purposes, we invite you to do so. At the end, we will have a Q&A session. So please be thinking about your questions. You can go and enter in those questions as we go along. We just won't answer them until the end. So you can use the Q&A icon to ask those questions. And I will also check the chat, but you can do that also in the Q&A section as well. You will also notice that this webinar is closed captioned. So if you don't see the closed captioning at the bottom of your screen, you can look for the CC icon and click on that, and that will make those visible to you. But I do have those turned on for anybody who chooses. And you can turn those off as well if that's visually distracting. Now, we're gonna start what you all are here to learn more about. So I'm gonna introduce each of our speakers. So what our first speaker is going to be Patty Muhlenbein. Patty identifies as a senior adult woman with a disability. She enjoys doing fun activities like arts and crafts. Patty loves music and singing, and she also enjoys sharing meals with her friends at church. You will also hear from Jackie Harner. Jackie identifies as a transgender man, while Jackie is currently a member of Disability Inclusion Committee at St. Thomas Lutheran Church. He is also Jewish and has been learning more about those roots and connecting with Beth Shalom, the local synagogue. And you'll hear a lot about, that's one of the stories that he is going to be sharing with you, is kind of that adventure over the last year. He has worked for Goodwill for 3 years and is now on a brief break. He has been awarded Employee of the Month at Goodwill. He completed paid internships with Cook Medical and the IT department at Stonebell Ark. He has also completed an internship at Upland Brewing Company. And we have Jeffrey Strasser. Jeffrey is interested in most everything supernatural and fantasy. When he isn't working, you'll often find him reading. He actually created a haunted book club in his community, and he's hoping to make new friends who also enjoy horror literature. Jeff has a long career in custodial services. After moving to Bloomington, he has worked as a custodian at St. Paul's Catholic Church and then at Stonebell Ark. Since the labor work was intensive, he has now moved to working in the medical supplies department with Cook Medical at Stonebell Ark. And finally, we have Brandon Kerfoot. Brandon identifies as a man with a disability. He enjoys listening to music like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Brandon also loves going to dinners for young adults at his church, where he gets to eat with his friends. You all can turn on those cameras and we'll talk more. Let me stop share for a moment. And first, I've got some questions. I want to talk to you, Patty, first. Can you first tell me, I know you, so where do you go to church?
When I was little, Sarah, I went to Cretenheim Methodist, and now I go to First Methodist, right?
Mhm.
First Methodist Church for because you might want to know how long.
How long have you gone?
Almost a whole year.
I think it's more than a year at this point, Patty. I think it's over a year.
Over a year, yes.
Yeah. So you've been going to First United Methodist. Can you
Yes.
tell me, and everybody else, what do you enjoy about, what do you like most about First United Methodist?
The singing. You know what I love, Sarah?
What?
Those snacks.
You do love the snacks. And when do you have the snacks?
Right before I leave at the end.
At the end. So you do worship first and then
Yes.
snacks.
Yes.
And what do you love about the snacks? I know you love food.
They taste good.
Snacks are good. That's a good thing to have as a part of social time. What else,
Okay.
what else do you like about First United Methodist, Patty?
I like to sing, I like to socialize, and I like to eat.
And you like to eat. Absolutely. So I heard you say that you like the music, and you like to
Yes.
socialize,
Organ and the piano.
and you like the organ and piano. That's important for you. You wanted to find a
Yes.
church with an organ and a piano.
Yes.
And why do you like the organ and piano music?
Because I love to listen to the choir sing.
Mhm. And you like hymns, correct?
Correct.
And why do you like hymns?
I like large print hymns so I can see.
Large print
Words.
hymns.
Yes, Sarah.
And does your church do a good job of getting you large print?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Do.
So do they do that? I heard you say that they do that for the hymns. Do they also do that for the bulletin?
Yes. Right,
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Yes.
What else do you like about First United Methodist?
I like to socialize and greet people.
So can you tell everybody a little bit about, you mentioned greeting,
Saying hello and saying goodbye.
and you're a greeter, you're a volunteer, correct?
Correct.
And what do you do as a greeter?
Say good morning, give people elbow bumps, shake their hands.
Can you show everybody what an elbow bump looks like?
This.
You like to give people elbow bumps as a way of greeting, correct?
Correct.
And why is that such an important job for you, being a greeter?
Because I love to volunteer.
And why do you like to volunteer?
So I can help people along, like if someone needed a tissue, like for instance, Alyssa Sage started crying.
Okay, and so you want to give them a tissue if they need it.
Yes.
Why else is greeting as people come into church so important?
So that I can meet the people.
Mm-hmm. And how is that helpful to other people?
Very.
Can you tell me more? Why is that important?
Because we want to be best friends.
We want to be best friends, and welcoming people when they come in and does that, right?
Yes. Right.
Absolutely. And when you're a greeter and other days at church, what do you wear?
Depending on the weather.
Oh, I mean, what do they give you to wear on your shirt?
Tag.
Your name tag.
Name tag, yes.
And why was that important for you to have a name tag?
So that they'll know my name.
And why is it important for people to know your name?
Because someone might ask me like, Marcus or Thomas or Jill. Her name's Jill, right?
Well,
Quill. Marcus, Thomas, or Quill.
And does that name tag help people know who you are?
Yes,
And you and I were talking that the name tag, you also feel like the name tag helps people come up to you more.
yes.
Yeah, okay. Can you tell me, Patty, how does your church make you feel like you belong?
It makes me feel happy.
Why does it make you feel happy?
Because one time I got 5 greeters, Sarah. 5.
5 people that you greeted? Wow, way to go. That is a big accomplishment. What? So that makes you feel like you belong?
Yes.
What else does your church do to make you feel like you
Um,
belong?
Well, they eat with me if they're hungry
Mhm.
at snack time. Here's
Okay.
my favorite picture.
do you want to show them this?
Yes, I do.
So I first heard you say, Patty, that when people sit with you during when you eat your snack, that makes you feel like you belong.
Makes me feel happy, Sarah, and
That's wonderful.
surprised.
And surprised even. That's wonderful. So you were going to show everybody this is something that you use during your worship time, right?
Right. First it's this, right?
Mhm.
And then this. And then this.
And then what do you do when something happens during the service?
I sing.
You do
That's
sing
one
as
of
a
the
part
things
of
you
the
do.
service.
What do we do during the service as things happen? What after the first thing happens, what do we do?
Turn them over.
We turn it over. Do you want to
Turn
show
it
them?
over. Yes. For instance, can you hold this
Mhm.
for me, please? Like this. I turn it like this, Sarah.
Okay. And does that help you keep track of the order of the service?
Yes, it
And
does.
that's wonderful. Why do you like to use that so much?
So I can remember what's going on or know what's going on, because without them, I won't know what's going on and have to ask someone a lot of questions, and I don't want to be the one doing that. That's why I'm bringing this with these pictures with me on Sunday, Sarah.
That's wonderful. And I do know that you are able to read. You do read, but this
Yes,
kind of is a visual cue as to what is coming next.
yes.
That's wonderful. So I might come back to you, Patty, but I do want to share with people some
I do
other
want to
pictures that I have of Patty using some of these things. So we're going to look at those pictures real quick. Oh, there's Brandon. And Patty, can you tell everybody what is this a picture of?
It's a picture of my brother.
No, who's that? Do you remember who that is?
You,
That's me, and that's our friend.
Marcus.
That's Thomas.
You and
You're
Tom.
right. This is Jupiter. This is you, Patty. And this is your friend Thomas.
Yes.
And
Uh,
where is this at? What are you doing here?
We were sitting at a table, right?
What event was this at?
Um,
Do you remember what we ate?
what?
This was the special chili cook-off.
Yes, chili cook-off, Sarah,
And you really enjoyed that event, right?
right.
And can you tell everybody what's this a picture of?
This is a picture of, let me see. Chili cook-off again.
Nope. Who is this?
Is it me?
That's you. Yep. And what are you looking at?
Those pictures.
Those pictures. So this is you in worship,
Yes,
and you're using your big large print bulletin and your
Yes.
picture schedule.
yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Patty. You may
You're
get some more
welcome.
questions about that, but thank you so much, Patty. So now we're going to talk to Jackie for a little bit. Hi, Jackie.
Hello.
So I know this last year has been a big year, to say the least. And so can you tell everybody a little about your what did you learn about yourself this year that has to do specifically with your faith journey?
I learned that I have Jewish ancestry because of being adopted and getting a DNA test because I was born in former Soviet Russia, which is now Moldova, and adopted at 2 years old. And I learned I had ancestors that died in the Holocaust. I found that out through the Holocaust Museum website.
So that process, you first went through Ancestry and did like a genealogy test to figure out kind of where you were from and specifically maybe even what town or area. And then
Yeah.
you found out that that was predominantly a Jewish area, correct?
Correct.
And then that's when you looked into the Holocaust Museum to see if there was any information in there about your family, correct?
Yep.
So then once you found that out, because that's big news, is to one, figure out where you're from, which you already knew, but getting a sense that your ancestors are Jewish, and two, that some of your family members died in the Holocaust. That's big news to hear. So what happened next?
I started going to Congregation Beth Shalom in Bloomington, which is a synagogue in town. And I started getting involved there more, while also going to church because that was more my mom's like, well, you should still go to St. Thomas. Like, okay.
Because you're still kind of figuring out what that all looks like for you. You're kind of still on that faith journey of being Jewish, but also growing up Lutheran in the Christian faith. And so how was it working? So one thing that I think would be funny for people to know is where is St. Thomas Lutheran Church compared to where is the synagogue?
They're next door neighbors, right? On the
They
same
are
parking
next
lot.
door neighbors. So how was it working with the rabbi and your pastor? How was it working on that journey with them both?
It was good. I started taking the Judaism intro classes through Hillel at IU, and I'm doing a conversion Judaism that should be done by April of next year around Passover. I've been going to Beth Shalom for like services on Friday nights.
So you go to Beth Shalom on Fridays, and then on Sundays you go to the Lutheran church.
Yeah, mostly because mom makes me.
Yep. So how have you felt, how have you experienced belonging throughout this process?
It's been really cool. Bessalum's very open and they're cool people. I learned how to make a Jewish bread that's very significant for holidays and other significant events called challah, but it's spelled Challah. And
Yeah, it doesn't look like challah the way we would spell challah, does
yeah,
it?
right.
With the CH, challah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where did you, can you tell people, because that, when you learned how to make challah, that was kind of a special moment for you. Where and who did you learn how to make challah from?
I went to Leslie's house at in Bloomington and learned at her house to make challah with her and a few other people from the synagogue.
Did they invited you into their own home and you had to have, you got to spend that afternoon or evening with them learning how to do that?
Yep.
And can you tell everybody, yeah, why did that mean, why is that so important to you and why did that mean so much to you?
It meant a lot because it was the first thing I ever did to connect to my heritage from Moldova.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. How else have you felt like you've belonged throughout this process, either with your experience of St. Thomas as you go through this or with the synagogue or both?
Well, with the synagogue, I've made friends with people there and we figured out rides and stuff. Like I'll meet someone who goes there at Target and they'll drive me to Friday night services. Like I'll get to Target and go to the Friday night services. And then I'll go home and then I'll like text them and be like, hey, is there anything going on this weekend? And they'll say if there is, I'll ask if they're not too busy, if they can take me to things.
And transportation's a big deal for you, correct?
Yeah, living on the west side, it's not easy getting at places.
Right. So transportation is a barrier and the public the different bus systems also don't always work with timing, correct?
Right, right.
So transportation is a big deal as far as your participation and inclusion, correct?
Correct.
Wonderful. Anything else that you want to share with everybody about that experience and how this has all meant to you?
It's really been a lot. It's just not knowing like I went from knowing nothing about my parents to knowing their names to knowing their heritage to all this in Moldova within the past 10 months. So to say it's been a roller coaster, let's just say it's more of Top Thrill Dragster ×7. If anybody's from Ohio, they know that one at Cedar Point.
Yeah, and and you're still kind of trying to process it all, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And go through, yeah, the emotional and identity roller coaster. That's a lot to find out in 10 months.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Well, people may have more questions for you, Jackie, but thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Jeff, I want to spend some time talking with you next. So you, can you share everybody where you typically attend worship on Sundays?
Sometimes it's St. Paul's, other times it's St. Charles.
Mm-hmm. And you have a special connection with St. Paul's, correct?
Yeah, there was a lady that used to work there as a secretary.
And you used to work there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You did some of I kind of talked about that in your bio, that you did some custodial work at St. Paul's.
I enjoyed it.
I know you did, and you met, can you share a little bit about why you enjoyed it?
Oh, enjoyed the work?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess seeing the people come in, they would also have Jewish people come and have their faith there You have a special day for the Jewish people to come and worship. I thought that was very nice.
Yeah, they're kind of a multicultural center of sorts at St. Paul's.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. So, since you've been kind of reconnected back to St. Paul's and attending regularly on Sundays, can you share with everyone why you enjoy it there and why that has been a sense of a space of belonging for you?
Well, I guess it's because there's more of an open atmosphere there. It's they're not as judgmental. There's kind of understanding about certain things. And they're just, I don't know, this is the atmosphere of it is so different.
And that is important to you. One of your gifts is asking questions and wondering. You love books, you love to learn, and you like to ask questions with your curiosity. So why is that so important to you and a part of your faith? Is that exploring and that wondering?
Well, I guess it's the excitement of knowing there's more out there they don't understand. I like to understand it more.
And
I'm very curious.
You are very curious. Absolutely. And that's what I really admire about you, Jeff, is you have no problem not knowing. You like to kind of ask questions, and that is okay if you don't know. Your curious mind. You seem to have fun asking questions.
I ask too many sometimes.
Not at all. Not at all. You and I have many good theological conversations and ask questions together. Can you, so I know finding that space where you can kind of safely explore theology, philosophy, and those big questions is important to you. Do you feel like you're finding that space more and more at St. Paul's?
I think so, yeah. I mean, St. Charles is nice too. I don't want to say anything bad about St. Charles. It's a very nice church. It's just the atmosphere is different.
The atmosphere is different between the two, which is why there's two Catholic churches, because they kind of provide different atmospheres, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yep. What can you share a little bit about how you experience God most in your life?
Ooh. Well, I was always taught that when you feel something deep within you, that's something telling you something. That's most of my opinions are very strong on certain things. And I just have to shout it out. I just have to bring it out for some reason.
Mm-hmm. So God is kind of that gut feeling or reaction about certain things that leads you to either ask questions or make decisions. Is that correct? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I've been told that I shouldn't say these things because I'm not really of a faith. I'm not really of a denomination, really. I think and some say that I shouldn't say my opinion because I don't understand a lot of stuff.
And so you have decided that you don't want to formally become Catholic because you kind of want the freedom to explore and ask questions of other faiths, but for right now, you like that congregation. Yeah, I totally hear you, Jeff. sometimes, depending on the environment, it is hard to ask questions and wonder. Sometimes it makes people uncomfortable asking some hard questions.
I make people uncomfortable sometimes when I ask certain questions too.
And that's why finding a good space to ask those questions is important to you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And to your faith. Absolutely. Anything else that you want to talk about with everyone?
Just that when I get interested in like the supernatural, I don't want people to think I'm kind of weird or far out there, anything like that. It's just I read books, fiction books of it and stuff like that, and I just find it very entertaining and it brings emotions out in you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Books, certain
And
movies.
that has been a part of your spiritual journey, is trying to find that space of your interest in the supernatural and horror stories, while also exploring faith and religion, and how can you do both in a safe way. And I mean safe as in so that others don't judge you for that.
True.
And that has been, you're kind of still figuring that out.
Well, can I tell a story?
Yes.
When I was at St. Paul's, there's one of the priests. He gave me a couple of horror books that
That's wonderful. That's good news. That's good news.
I was surprised.
Well, and you were surprised that they kind of hosted what, a horror film or kind of a supernatural film, and you were kind of pleased to see that congregation host that event.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. So I told you it was possible. I knew there was a congregation out there that would give that space for you, and I think you found it. And then you're also starting a book club, correct?
Yeah, I'm trying to get started now. I'm hoping to get a few people that were interested in that sort of genre.
Mm-hmm. And meet new people and make new friends.
Yep, I'm one that needs friends.
We all do, Jeff. And that it's not always easy. Absolutely. Friends are important, really important. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. We might have some more questions for you, but I am going to turn to Brandon right now. I'm glad you're excited, Brandon. Brandon, can you tell everyone, oh, you're already prepared. I can see you being prepared. So can you tell everybody, what group do you worship with?
I don't know.
Is it called Jubilee?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jubilee is a young adult group at First United Methodist, correct?
Yeah.
And what do you like about Jubilee?
I like it.
You
They
like
have,
it? What do you like about it?
Food.
There's food.
Yep.
What else do you like about Jubilee?
Thing.
It's fun. What else?
Thing.
Friends. You're making some new friends there, aren't you?
Yep.
And then what do you have toward the end? I know you love it. Music?
Yep.
And there's music. So what do you want to show everyone? It looks like you're eager to share. So what are you showing everyone?
Maybe I am Brandon. Like me,
Animals.
Eminem,
Okay, I am Brandon. I like animals.
And what does that other side say? You wanna lift it up like this?
like,
What are you doing there?
horse,
You riding a horse?
mhm,
Remember when we were at Jubilee and you were talking to people about how you've ridden a horse?
yeah.
And other people were talking to you about their experiences with horses?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So you're sharing with people about how you used to ride, you've ridden a horse before,
Yep,
and that you like animals.
yes,
And this card, do you use this card to talk to people
yes,
at Jubilee?
yes,
And does it help you make friends?
yes.
Can you show Betty? I know you have more cards there. Do you want to show people the next card?
Oh, you want to show them that instead?
Yep.
You want to show them the card?
I am Brandon.
I love.
I like Bessie,
What's that a picture of?
Bessie,
Pepsi. It says I love pop
yeah,
like.
Can I say it for him?
Nope, we're gonna let him talk.
So it says, I am Brandon. I love pop like
Yep.
Pepsi. Is that what I heard?
yes,
Do you
Yes.
you like Pepsi, don't you?
she did.
Yes, you do. Do you have another card that says things that you like?
Right here,
And so this card is, you and I talked in preparation for this meeting and this webinar, we talked about how you experience God, right?
yeah.
And how do you feel God? How do you experience God, Brandon?
Love,
Through love.
yeah,
How else do you experience or feel God?
happy,
When you're happy?
Yeah.
Can you think of other ways that you feel God?
What about those pictures? Did you want to talk about the pictures down here?
uh,
You want to lift it up a little bit?
playing, playing,
Yep, through
Yes.
friends. You experience God through friends,
hug,
hugs,
play.
and when you pray. Absolutely. Thank you, Brandon. Did you have something else that you wanted to share?
Yes,
Show them that picture.
okay. This will be Halloween party.
The Halloween party, okay?
You know, yes.
That says, how do your friends at Jubilee make you feel happy?
How do
So
your
how do
friends
your
make
friends-
you feel happy, Brandon?
Um, um,
Talk.
talk.
When they talk to you and you have conversations?
Yep.
Absolutely. So I have some of those pictures on, and I can put them on the big screen so that people can see them. So hold on, everybody. I know you all want to see his pictures a little better, so here we go. So this is you, Brandon, right?
Yep.
And you're using those conversation cards to talk to people, correct?
Yep.
Turn it.
This way, it has to look at him right now.
And so you're talking to somebody about, it looks like maybe playing soccer.
Yep.
Do you like soccer?
Yes.
Yeah. And it looks like this one, maybe you're sharing with her. Oh, and look at that big smile. You really like music, correct?
Yes.
And what kind of music do you like?
Patrick Boy and
Is this
AJ.
his?
Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. You really like jamming out with them, don't you?
Yep.
And here I have a picture of you, Brandon. You talked about one of the things that make you feel happy and that make you feel like you belong is being able to join in the holiday or the Halloween party, correct?
Yep.
And what were you dressed up as?
Pig.
A pig.
Pig?
And, and this is a big picture of everybody at Jubilee, right?
Yep.
Are we there too?
Looks like a fun group. And one of the people that you met at Jubilee, they invited you to do something. What did they invite you to do?
John.
John,
John? What did John invite you to go do?
Kick a ball.
Kick a ball. You
Soccer.
played soccer, didn't you?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get this video to play. Hold on 1 minute, folks.
I decided to skip.
Dude, you want to join that side?
And that's you playing soccer. So they had a soccer event at church, correct?
Yep.
And people of all ages, children and adults, were playing soccer.
Uh-huh.
That's wonderful. I'm so glad you would like it there and are making some new friends.
Yep.
So now I'm going to open this up to questions that people might have. So if you all are out there and have questions for any of the people here, or one person in particular, go ahead and submit your questions in the Q&A section and I will take a look. I have some comments here in case you all didn't see it. So I know 2 people know who this person is. Marcus is on here, Brandon and Patty. And Marcus says, we all love the snacks, Patty. And I love talking with you while we eat. And Pam agrees. Eating and socializing are my favorite things too, Patty. A handful of greetings, she says. Marcus also said, I love the food too, Brandon, and I love you being there. And he said that the pig costume was the best. Does anybody have any questions for these folks here? Anything that you all wanted to add while people enter in those questions? Jeff, Jackie, Patty, Brandon, do you have anything else that you want to share with people here?
Brandon's saying that he wants to show something.
Yes, Brandon, go ahead.
And I want to show something.
And okay. Monday. Like basketball.
Okay, so that's a picture of you talking to somebody else about basketball.
Yep.
I love that. And so this is one thing that you do when you're talking with people at Jubilee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wanna go to the next one?
Yep.
He's got one more page I think he wants to show.
Okay, wonderful.
Do you need help getting that out,
Do you
Brandon?
need some help?
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Okay, this one, no cheese.
Yes. So I am so sorry we skipped this. This is a big deal for you, Brandon. So one of the ways that Jubilee makes you feel like you belong, is the fact that you can't have cheese, right?
No.
Yeah, you can't have cheese or dairy. So what do they do to make you feel like you belong?
Yeah, yeah.
They make you food that you can eat without
Well,
There.
with no cheese.
no cheese.
Yeah, so I see you. What did you have a picture under the cheese? What was that? What's that picture of?
Sandwich.
A sandwich, so sandwiches without cheese, so you can eat
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
And what is that second picture next to the cheese?
No, no milk.
No milk. You can't have milk either. And so, what do they do in that picture below?
Chocolate chip cookie.
They're chocolate chip cookies, and so they make you cookies that don't have milk in it, right?
Nope.
That's wonderful. So you can participate too. They make sure that they have food for you that you can eat as well.
Yep.
That's awesome. How does that make you feel when they make you food that you can eat?
Yeah.
How does it make you feel when they make special food for you?
Good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
So then you can eat it, right? And enjoy the food. Absolutely. Okay, so we have some questions. One of the questions is, what is the most important part of going to church or synagogue? What do you like most? So this is for all of you. Anybody who wants to answer this question, what do you like most? What's the most important part of going to church or synagogue?
Can I?
You want to
You
answer?
can answer that one. Yes, absolutely, Patty.
Snacks and the songs. That's what I love. And
What?
music
You what?
and the organ. I like
And
the
you love the organ.
I like the songs. And best of all, the snacks.
So those are the most important
Yeah.
things for you, Patty, right?
Right.
Wonderful. Anybody
say
else have what is the most important part of going to church or synagogue?
Oh,
Go ahead, Jeff.
I don't want to interrupt.
That's okay. It can be your turn. Brandon can go after you. No problem.
I like the artistry in a church, the stained windows and the way they structure the churches are. I've always been fascinated by the structure of churches.
And that's important part of your experience there, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff, for sharing that. Brandon, did you have something to say on this question? What's the most important part of going to church or synagogue?
I say, yes. Do you have a party?
Say that again, Brandon?
Party.
You're asking about a party?
Yeah.
Party. So having parties at church is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Parties are an opportunity to talk and socialize and meet people. So having those activities are important for you, Brandon.
Aye.
Nice. Jackie, did you have an answer for this or no? No, that's okay. The next one's for you anyway, Jackie. For so Jackie, for what are the things about Judaism that you connect with most? And is it more tradition, culture, history, or religious practice? So what kind of aspects are kind of most important or that you connect with most?
I'd say all of them because not knowing where you're from is pretty like wild. Like if like I just had my parents' names like, okay, Moldova. So I started looking into that and then found new information, started connecting with heritage I didn't even know I had because it was just hidden from me because of adoption.
Mm-hmm. So some
So
of the history and the culture I'm hearing you say.
and the traditions and the religious practices are really meaningful to me.
Mm-hmm. Anything else specific that you are particularly starting to connect with in Judaism?
Definitely learning the laws of kashrut, which is the kosher laws. I'm really connected with that. Yeah,
So that's something that you're starting to really connect with right now?
yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. Thank you.
Marcus is asking for everyone, what do you do if you're feeling overwhelmed at your place of worship, in worship or during an event, or in conversation with people at church or synagogue? So is there anything that you do when you're feeling overwhelmed at church or synagogue?
Have someone pat you on the shoulder to comfort you.
That's what you like.
Yes.
A pat on the back to comfort. Wonderful.
Yes.
Do any of you experienced this and do something special for if you're feeling overwhelmed? Okay. And David asks, are any of you part of a committee or group at your place of worship? And if any, so if so, what are they? So are any of you a part of a committee or group at your place of worship? I know Patty, you're a greeter.
Yes. And I like to, they pat me on the shoulder when I am upset. What was another question?
The question was about what group you're a part of.
What group am I a part of?
We went to a
Right.
special picnic. What was the picnic for?
To form a group?
The picnic was for senior adults at your
Senior
church.
adults at my church.
For
Sarah,
senior adults. So you're a part of the senior adult group at your church.
yes,
Okay. And I know Jackie, you're kind of attending two different congregations and you do have an important role at St. Thomas. And what group are you involved in there?
The disability committee
The
that we're building
disability
belonging.
committee. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And what do you do in that group?
we talk about how to make St. Thomas more accessible to people with any type of disability.
Absolutely. So you are kind of on that committee that helps that congregation learn how to be more accessible and inclusive of people with disabilities.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else a part of a group or a committee at their place of worship?
It's me.
Hey, Jeff.
I've had some friends say I should get involved in a group sometime, but I haven't yet done that.
Haven't done it yet, but are you thinking about it maybe?
Yeah, it's more belonging and so I like to belong to like I always want to belong to a club or something like that, or
Right.
meeting.
Right. So trying to find more of maybe a social group or thing that can start getting that sense of belonging in that group and connectedness.
Belonging is very serious to me right now.
Belonging is a serious thing. I bet everybody on this call, Jackie, Jeff, Patty, Brandon, is belonging important for you?
Yes.
I'm hearing
Yep.
everybody say yes. Having that sense of belonging is really important. David also asks, have any of you participated in any type of discussion about Bible or scripture? And if so, how did it go? Have any of you attended like a Bible study or a scripture story, like Torah study?
Did you want to say something about the Bible discussion?
Yes. When I was little, Sarah,
Mhm.
I read all the books in the Bible.
I believe that. So you've read
I
all of the
went-
books in the Bible.
Yeah, I went to Sunday school.
Mhm.
When I was little, I went to Sunday school.
When you were little, you went to Sunday school.
Yes, but not anymore.
Not anymore. But that's not because you
Here.
can't. That's just because you choose to go home at that time, correct?
Yes, correct. And I will this Sunday too. I'm gonna
Mhm.
leave at 11.
You like to get home ready for lunchtime, right?
Right,
You kind of have a schedule, right?
right.
Have any of you else attended? I mean, Jackie, I know through this last experience of this year, you've been doing some Torah studies and classes, correct?
Correct.
So how did that go for you?
Great. I have a weird affinity for Hebrew because it reads right to left. And I just have a weird knack for languages that aren't English because of being adopted from Moldova, I guess.
Yeah, so you've been really picking up on Hebrew pretty quickly, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's great. And Jeff, you aren't a part of a formal like scripture study, but I'll tell you, you and I have some great theological conversations.
Yeah, they're I probably shouldn't bring some of them up, but
No, stop that. You are allowed to ask anything. I love our conversations. All right. Well, we are actually past 3 o'clock, if you all can believe that. If anybody, all of this webinar and the slides will be so the slides will be in a PDF, and I will send that to all attendees, actually all those who registered. And then eventually this will be recorded and be put on our website. And then you can get this, you can have access to this right away, but only through Facebook. So if you go to our Facebook page, which is just Stone Belt, then you can see the recording of this live event. And so you can share it and rewatch it, and look at that right away. It will take some time for it to get to our website though. Please email me. I'm going to put my email. I'm actually going to copy a few different links. So I am copying the donation link again. There it is. And I am also copying and pasting our website, which is there. And finally, I will put in my email. So if any of you have further questions, curiosities, for myself or any of these other folks, please email me as well. And I will make sure that they get your question and I can email you back with their answer. Thank you all so much for joining us. And we hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. See ya.